Hi, I'm Corey from ID Parts, and in this video I'll be changing the fuel filter on a 2.8 liter baby Duramax. This is a GMC Canyon, but it'll be the same process for the Chevrolet Colorado. Now we'll take a look at the engine bay, and you may notice that there's no fuel filter here. That's because, like a lot of modern trucks, for some reason, they put the fuel filter underneath the truck. It is located basically rear door, driver's side, right behind the frame rail, right here. It's a two-piece unit, so there's going to be two covers we're going to have to take off and replace. Now I'm going to put this truck on a lift so I can videotape this better, but it's actually really easy to do just with the truck on the ground as long as you have a good drain pan of some sort, because fuel will be spilling out and will make a mess if you don't catch it. Before we put the fuel filter in, let's talk about the different types or the brands of fuel filter that you can buy. This box here and this filter is made by UFI. UFI is the OEM manufacturer for this engine. This is what gets put in at the factory. If you buy an AC Delco filter from the dealer, you will get a UFI filter with an AC Delco label on it. UFI has a very different type of filtration media than other brands do. And this is their kind of proprietary design, which is immediately noticeable because it's white and it's flat. It's got a little bit of a pleating to it. It's got a little bit of a pattern to it, but it doesn't have any pleating. The other aftermarket filters you'll see have that kind of zigzag pleated material, which is different than the OEM filter. So if you're really sensitive about getting OE filtration, stick with the OEM, either the AC Delco, or if you can find it, the direct UFI filter. That way you get this OE style filtration media. All right, so here's the fuel filter housing with the two. These are actually the ends of the fuel filter here, not just caps. There's a drain screw that you can use. Makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Sure you got your drain pan ready, because there we go. Plug doesn't come out all the way. It's got a little bit of a catch at the top of it, so it'll just sit there and you can just let it drain. It'll take a little while. While the fuel has drained out of the canister through the drain plug, you can take the two fuel filters out. You'll need a 27mm socket to do this. I've got an oil filter wrench here that works just great. This 27mm socket is the same size as the socket you'll need for the oil filter housing too. You want to keep your drain pan handy because there still will be some fuel that comes out. That's totally normal. There's one. And there's two. So the new one's in place. There's no front or back filter, they're identical. So you can just screw them right in. This one, the O-ring got nicked. Be sure that O-ring's in that bottom line there. You don't need to lubricate these O-rings. Final torque on these is 20 Newton meters, which works out to be about 13 PSI. So not very tight at all, basically just enough to get that O-ring snug. You don't want to kind of go crazy on these because they are plastic filters and you can break them. Those two in, get the drain plug back in place. Don't forget this or else you'll make a big mess later on. Now here are the factory filters. These are the ones I took out of the truck that came from the factory. It's the first fuel filter change on this truck. You can see the UFI logo right there. And you can see that these filters, even though they're dark because of contaminants, they have that same kind of pattern on them. And it's the same material as the ones we put in. And just a quick cleanup. With the two new fuel filters in, the next thing we have to do is prime the fuel filters. Luckily, there's nothing special we have to do in this case because there's an electric or electronic fuel pump in the fuel tank, and all we need to do is cycle the key to make that pump prime the filter housing for us. You can tell when the fuel filter housing is fully primed because the pitch of the pump will change. I'm going to try to get that on recording for you now. And as the pitch is going down, the pressure is building up in the fuel filter system. It's good to double check, no leaks. There, that's the air bubble. All right, once that's stopped, you're good to go. There we go, pretty easy start. We got the prime right, and you might want to let it run just for a few minutes to be sure that the idle is fully stabilizes. Now that you have the new fuel filter installed, you can reset the fuel filter life indicator. Go to the main menu on your cluster and click on Info. Then use the up and down arrows until you get to fuel filter life. Click on right, or press on right, and select reset. Then you're done. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Remember to give it a thumbs up if it was useful to you. Subscribe if you want to see new videos about your diesel as I make them. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at sales@idparts.com. Thanks for watching. Everybody take care.